If you're always the person who gives the most, chances are you'll end up alone. And not because you're a bad person, but because of how social psychology works. And there's an explanation for this. Psychologists call this a relational value imbalance. And once you understand it, you're going to see why your relationships always end the same way. Number one, you confuse kindness with social value. People who give too much often believe this. If I'm good, they will love me. But the social brain doesn't work that way. It works like this. If it can be lost, it's valuable. When you never withdraw, never set boundaries, and never say no, your presence stops feeling like a choice and becomes an automatic resource. And this next trait is the one that destroys most people without them realizing it. Number two, you're training others not to make an effort for you. This is uncomfortable but necessary. Every time you forgive without consequences, help without being asked, adapt to avoid. Discomfort, you're teaching others something dangerous. I don't need to take care of you. You'll always be there. Psychology calls this passive reinforcement. You don't punish disrespect so the other person's brain repeats it. Number three, you're empathetic but not reciprocal. People who give too much feel others' pain, understand excuses, justify behaviors, but rarely ask themselves, is this mutual? Social psychology is clear. Relationships without reciprocity don't generate connection, they generate use. And when you're no longer useful, they disappear. If this made you uncomfortable, good. It means it's exactly what you needed to hear. Number four, you avoid conflict to avoid rejection. Giving too much often stems from fear. Fear of losing, fear of bothering, fear of being alone. But here's the psychological paradox. Avoiding conflict leads you exactly to the outcome you fear, loneliness. Because respect isn't born from pleasing others, it's born from boundaries. Number five, your identity is based on being needed. This is the deepest one. Some people don't know who they are if they're not helping, saving, or supporting others. The problem is that when they no longer need you, they don't know why to stay with you. And that's where the emptiness comes in. Social psychology doesn't say to stop being good. It says to do this. Start giving with boundaries. Don't over-explain. Don't always be available. Don't prove your worth by sacrificing yourself. Because the people who stay aren't the ones who receive the most from you. They're the ones who respect you when you're not there. Now, if you found value in this video so far, I want to invite you to do something important. Hit that like button so this message can reach more people who need to hear it. Subscribe to the channel because we're building a community of people who want to grow and understand themselves better. And if this resonated with you personally, leave a comment below sharing your experience. Your story might help someone else who's going through the same thing. Now let me give you the practical framework I promised at the beginning, the one that will help you break this pattern once and for all. This is the part where everything comes together. Here's what most people get wrong. They think setting boundaries means being cold or selfish, but that's not what boundaries are. Boundaries are simply the space where your self-respect lives. Let me explain how to implement this in real life. First, understand the reciprocity test. For the next 2 weeks, pay attention to your relationships. Ask yourself, if I stopped initiating, would this person reach out? If I said no, would they respect it or guilt trip me? If I needed help, would they show up the way I show up for them? This isn't about keeping score. It's about gathering data on who actually values you versus who just uses you. Second, practice the power of the pause. When someone asks you for something, instead of immediately saying yes, say this. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. This does two things. It breaks your automatic pattern of saying yes, and it teaches others that your time has value. Even if you have nothing in your schedule, the pause itself recalibrates the dynamic. Third, implement strategic unavailability. This sounds manipulative, but it's not. It's psychological reality. When you're always available, you signal low value, not because you are low value, but because the human brain uses scarcity as a value signal. Start being genuinely unavailable sometimes. Have your own projects, your own interests, your own life that doesn't revolve around being everyone's support system. Fourth, embrace productive discomfort. This is crucial. Every time you want to over-explain, stop yourself. Every time you want to apologize for having needs, don't. Every time you want to fix someone's problem that they should fix themselves, resist. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, some people will be upset. But here's what you need to understand. The discomfort you feel from setting boundaries is temporary. The resentment you'll feel from not setting them is permanent. Fifth, redefine your value proposition. Stop proving your worth through sacrifice. Start demonstrating your worth through self-respect. People are attracted to those who value themselves. When you respect your own time, energy, and emotional capacity, others will too. When you don't, they won't. It's that simple. Here's the deeper truth that nobody talks about. When you start setting boundaries, you will lose people. And that's exactly the point. You're not trying to keep everyone. You're trying to keep the right ones. The people who leave when you set boundaries were never your people. They were your users. And losing users to find genuine connections is not a loss. It's an upgrade. Let me tell you what happens when you actually implement this. At first, you'll feel guilty. Your brain has been wired to equate giving with worthiness. Breaking that pattern triggers discomfort. But push through it. After a few weeks, something shifts. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. Some will even respect you more. The ones who don't will fade away, and you'll realize they were draining you all along. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop overgiving, you create space. Space for people who actually reciprocate. Space for relationships based on mutual respect, not need. Space for the kind of connections that actually fulfill you instead of depleting you. This isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming selective. It's about understanding that your kindness is valuable and should be given to those who treasure it, not to those who expect it. So here's your action plan starting today. Identify one relationship where you consistently overgive. In that relationship, implement one boundary this week. Just one. Maybe it's not responding immediately to messages. Maybe it's saying no to a request. Maybe it's not initiating contact and seeing if they do. Start small, but start. Remember this. The goal isn't to stop being kind. The goal is to be kind to people who are kind back, to invest in people who invest in you, to give to those who appreciate, not just those who take. If this video opened your eyes to patterns you've been stuck in, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we're going to dive even deeper into these psychological dynamics. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, where we'll talk about how to identify takers versus givers in the first 5 minutes of meeting someone. And remember, giving too much doesn't make you bad, but understanding this truth makes you free. Free to build the relationships you deserve with people who actually see your worth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Deeper into these psychological dynamics, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, where we'll talk about how to identify takers versus givers in the first 5 minutes of meeting someone. And remember, giving too much doesn't make you bad, but understanding this truth makes you free. Free to build the relationships you deserve with people who actually see your worth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.